Okay, we're going to talk a bunch about graphs of functions, so we should probably actually have a definition for that word. So, the graph of a function f of x is the set of points x comma f of x.
Yes.
Period. Okay? So when I ask you over and over again, what is a point on a graph?
X, f of x.
You will say it is a x f of x pair or a point x comma f of x. I will also accept input output pair. Cool? The really neat thing about this definition of the word function is that this is the same definition of the word function I give to Calc 3 students. Okay? This is the same definition of function that I would give beginning analysis students in their first semester of graduate work. This definition is actually one of the little chunks of unvarnished truth you're getting. Cool? So, this one can go in your head and stay there. Cool? It also needs to stay there because when we do calculus class, I ask, what is a point on the graph about 1,000,000 times over the semester? Okay? So just put this response in your head. So what is a point on a graph?
Set of points x, f of x.
Okay, let's try that again. The correct response is x f of x pair. Okay? What is a point on the graph?
X f of x pair.
Perfect.
I like pairs.
Input output pair.
Or an input-output pair. And I'm going to ask you that a bunch of times, so we'll get used to saying that. Okay?
Okay.
Cool. All right. The use of this, right, is that these are the lines in those tables you guys used to make to graph functions, right? Or that maybe you still make to graph functions you don't know about. Right, so it's just all the possible sets of like lines in that table you would get, right? Cool. The other nice thing about this is if I say give you a function, like this is the graph of f of x is x minus 2 squared plus 1, right? And then I tell you over here is the point 3 comma something. Where do you get the something?
You plug in 3 in x function.
Yeah, you plug 3 in, right? And what do you get out?
1, 2.
Seems like 2. Cool. That's a what comma what pair?
That's an input output pair.
That is an input-output pair, or an x f of x pair. You guys cool with that? Does this help you with your vertical line test a little bit?
Sure.
Right, because your vertical line test, you're checking, are there spots where a vertical line hits some nonsense, right? So like say I had something like this,
So nonsense.
nonsense, that might be a graph, right?
Maybe.
And I'm drawing a vertical line through this thing. Is there a vertical line that hits this twice?
Every
Yeah, like lots of them, right? Like these ones don't,
No.
and this one only hits once.
Yay! It's a function. No.
Like it's a function right there,
Function
right?
tip.
But in here you have problems. So these two guys, right, would be the same x value. You guys see that? So those would be like number, comma, something, and number, comma, something.
Yeah.
These guys
X.
would have to be the same if it's going to be a function, right? Because that's the output for that number. But they're not. Clearly, because they're at different heights. You guys see that? Cool, cool?